So we're back.
So we're back, nothing to do with you. New background, back
New
in
setup.
new setup. We're gonna try this Jill thing at the moment. Obviously you can see Memo over here. Me, little bollocks over here. Um Cheers. Drink responsibly.
Yeah. Cheers. Don't spill it.
Sláinte.
Happy Friday. Happy long bank holiday weekend.
Friday, long bank holiday. It's been too long. We've all got caught up. Memo's been caught up with the house and doing adult stuff, adulting. I've been caught up buying more masks.
Being a menace to
Being
society.
a menace. Look, the two-tone Rey Mysterio mask, obviously, because nobody wants to see this gorgeous face. Obviously, I got the setup back, the mic. We got the computers. I'm back down in the bar. Memo is in his new Lego room that he's setting up at the moment with pops behind him and God knows what. And he's cursed, obviously.
Yeah, I'm course. Yeah.
He's
This
cursed.
fucking room was course. They can't get it together. You know.
Oh, here, I need to take this off. It's like 23 degrees or here or something.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you're doing
Oh
it.
man, I need to take this mask off. Hang on.
Yeah. But yeah. Anything you want to start off with Mania? The
Now, so to be honest, we have
call
not
it.
we have not
Yeah.
been on since Mania.
Since
Yeah.
Mania.
So with that, a lot has happened. Everything and nothing has happened because
Well,
we're kind of not up to date on what's happening. But Clash in Italy happens tomorrow,
yeah.
so I'll read the card anyway. I'll get the card up for Clash in Italy,
Yeah.
and to be honest, I seen the card and I just think it's rinse and repeat. A lot of
That's
the ma
WWE, though, man. You know,
Yeah.
like they're just you recycling storylines at this stage, you know,
I
same
think so.
characters.
I think so. Like I'm just gonna get the match card up here. So if you see me looking down, obviously I have the phone because I'm just
Yeah,
too lazy to go. Well, I just don't want to mess up the computer again. But yeah, like I mean, I looked at the price of Italy to go over.
is it as expensive as what Bash in Berlin was last year, or coming up to it, like,
That was the most expensive I've ever seen,
mm, for a European
and
event anyway?
for a European event. But that was the weird thing about that is that was WrestleMania prices.
Mm,
Over WrestleMania price. I paid less for WrestleMania than to go to Berlin. I didn't go. I watched it, but when I seen them prices, I went, "Oh my God!" So here's and I actually just before I read the card, the same thing was with Italy. I looked up Italy just curiosity of all them, and it was as expensive for one night
mm,
as WrestleMania. I mean, WrestleMania two nights was cheaper than one night in Italy. Just to clarify that. But here's the matches, and this is another problem. I'll read the matches now, and then I'll tell you the problem that I have with it. So you got Cody and Gunther, okay? I think that's a new match. That's the only
yeah,
new one, right? You got a repeat of WrestleMania, which is Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. So
yeah,
that's one repeat match. You
yeah.
got you got Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu again, which is another repeat from Backlash.
They shot the bed at Backlash.
You
Really
got
shot the bed there.
you got Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka, which is another repeat match. And then you got Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, which is a repeat match of WrestleMania. And I'm
Yeah,
pissed off at that because I thought I seen Brock
Lesnar's last match.
Lesnar. I thought it was his last match. Everybody was shocked that it was the best like goodbye ever. Everybody thought, oh my God, that wasn't meant to happen. He's gone. We got something special, and now it's just ruined.
Yeah,
And obviously,
I think.
that's here's the other thing as well. That's one, two, three, four. You're getting five matches,
Mm,
and how many ads, and how many? Like I know, obviously, you're probably gonna get Danhausen or something in the middle of that. You know what I mean? You're gonna get little skits
yeah.
and stuff, but I think that's shocking.
Well, just to go to the Lesnar thing, like, like you said, like it was a bit out of left field what happened on Mania. A lot of people were thinking, oh, is this the last one? I think I said as well after that the fact that they're making such a big deal out of him having his last match and his last run, all this sort of stuff, like the way Cena was doing, and they just kind of got rid of that on the lead up to Mania with Over. So you know, like with WWE, you don't know what's at work anymore and what's actually real, which is silly.
Yeah, but
But
what's
like,
you don't mind being what's work and what's real and stuff. You don't mind that if it makes sense, but it's not making
yeah,
sense.
but like even the whole open thing, the open challenge, that was good, but it failed after 2 weeks, man. When you had to go backstage and grab
And
people
grab
out the
two
ring,
jobbers, but the thing
like,
is,
you know,
how many open challenges? I think they're done of ideas. Like you got the US Open Challenge, you got Obafemi with the Open Challenge, you got I think before Main you had Lesnar putting an Open Challenge out there.
yeah,
You had Sami Zayn before that, you had John Cena before that. That's only off the top of my head. That's five. And that's gone back a bit. But I think Penta had an open challenge as well. He had it on Raw for the
yeah, I think so.
Intercontinental. So like, how
Mm,
many people are you giving open challenges to? Like, I'd like not even rankings, but I'd like some consistency, and not
yeah.
even that. Like I says, most of the matches are rinse and repeat. It's lazy.
It would have made more sense if they had kept it going to at least Rumble next year or Mania, and then like
Long
probably
term,
having beat Goldberg streak or something like that.
yeah,
That would have been good,
long
you know.
term storytelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what I would have thought anyway.
but the Lesnar one's a weird one. You don't actually know if that was him retiring there and then, or did they say, right, you have to come back, finish out your contract, or it could be as well. He knows the Saudi events are only around the corner. There's going to be a lot of money on the table. Is he really going to walk away before he makes his big payday? You know, if it is last year to do that, because
That's
AJ
exact.
done that as well.
That's
So you know,
exactly the thing. That is
yeah,
exactly. But at the moment, I think since at least not WrestleMania gone, but WrestleMania 41 that we seen, we
yeah.
were even a bit disappointed.
The main event was a nightmare, man. Like
But
Cody wrestled the good matches as per usual, and the good performance they was seeing, like, you know. But I've heard a lot of rumors online. The Rock was meant to be there, and the plan
well,
fell
yeah,
through.
that was the thing
And
that shit about, I think. But like
you
even
know,
this year, right? We'll go to this year. We'll just skip.
mm,
We're gonna skip back and forward a bit, just because me and you kind of we're
that long term
long term
storytelling, man.
storytelling. But
One works into the other. Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing since the other. But I think the thing is the thing is, like we were saying last year, the most highest that everybody heard, everybody talking about it, was WrestleMania 40. We finished the
yeah.
story. Then they went on a big mad run, and it just went bang.
Mm.
But
That
not
was
even
because
bang. It just
yeah,
got back to normal, you know. And you were like,
yeah,
what is
because
going on here?
they had the roster fully stacked around and big returns of Punk coming back. You know, signing
Yeah.
all the different stars. You know, um, bringing people up from NXT, giving them a good run at different divisions. Like, you know, it was a good time to be watching WWE again. But I think they've lost that wow factor, you know, because as you said yourself, they're doing the same thing over and over again, you know.
And they're having matches on Raw.
Yeah,
Like you're having the same matches on Raw as that you're gonna have on a main event. Why would you watch them
exactly.
like the pay per view or you know what I mean?
I was only watching a podcast there the other day, and the whole 2 night thing at Mania kind of waters it down a little bit because, as everybody knows,
Yeah, no,
WrestleMania used to be magic, man, you know. And now it's like,
I can understand Mania with
you
the
know,
2 nights. That's fair enough. But now you're going to SummerSlam with the 2 nights. What are you gonna
yeah.
do? Are you gonna do like the big four? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna have like the Royal Rumble next? You know? Are you gonna have that next
I'd say if they
with
want to
two
make,
nights?
they're probably gonna make all the PLEs, the big ones anyway. 2 nights, I say. Like
And
they were
and
testing the waters of Mania. That's been a success the last couple of years for them. So you'll see what
well,
other events do.
just
You
to
know?
go off script as well.
Yeah,
That like I never seen such a money grab in WrestleMania this year. They didn't
yeah.
give a shit about fans really. It was money, money, money. You
Mhm.
know? So,
You see, a lot of that you could blame on WWE, right? They all like to make money. They're in it for the money. We all know that.
well, we
But I'd say
know,
the biggest thing is probably TKO. They
yeah.
make their money with UFC there all the time.
But
So
hang
they're
on,
going to use that same formula for WWE, you know?
I never
But
seen like this was the pinnacle example for me. Some random bloke sitting on commentary with headphones like this on. He didn't even have a mic. He just had headphones on listening. And I don't know who
which
the hell
match
he
was
was.
that?
This was our Mania. He paid apparently he paid like something fucking crazy, something like 70 grand or 80 grand to sit at the table for a match, the announce table.
All right.
I actually thought it was a new announcer, and I was going, "Who was this?" You know what I mean? And then no,
Didn't get called up for it.
this was some multi-millionaire that paid crazy amount of money to sit
Mm,
beside Michael Cole and Corey Graves and watch a match pretty much because he wasn't commentating. He just had the headphones on to look like he
yeah.
was. So that if that's not great, I don't know what is. And not to mention like the WWE World gone up. I think it was like I think I got one of the cheap days, but the other days were like a
Yeah.
hundred and odd. And I think I got like cheap isn't cheap, but it was like $70 or something I got. You know.
For one day.
So yeah, yeah.
That's bad one.
Like it was expensive. Obviously
Yeah.
WrestleCon I paid the exact same like price $70, but that was for the whole. Or I think sorry, it was $80, and that was for like all 4 days,
Weekend pass.
the
Yeah, yeah.
whole thing. And then not only that, they were smart. They made. Did they make? Was it Sunday or Monday? I think it was Sunday. They made
Mm.
free for everybody to come in.
For WWE World.
No, for WrestleCon.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
the
Yeah.
amount of fans on the Sunday there was unreal. It was great.
Yeah. But like you know yourself, like when we were at Mania last year in Vegas,
But
remember we went up
Vegas is
towards Old
expensive
Vegas.
anyway. You know.
Yeah. But remember we were up in Old Vegas and just had the ring out in the middle of the middle of like it was like in a center somewhere, like had an indie show on. Like yeah, GCW had all them going on at the time, like it's great for the independent promotions and it's great for wrestling fans that are actually into it. Like that doesn't really change too much. But then you have the casual fans, you have the influencers going to it and everything like this. Like look at the whole like
Well,
10
that's
back
another
rows,
thing.
let's say, or 10 front rows. Like
That's
you're
another thing that made me
yeah,
sick this year. The amount of like people with like all this, especially when you're trying to watch a
they're not
match.
watching the
Oh,
matches, yeah. Like
the
them.
entrance. Somebody's coming out.
Yeah.
Will you sit down? I'm trying to look and watch the thing. But not even that. The amount of people harassing wrestlers because you see wrestlers out in the bill,
Mm,
and it's fair enough. Like if you see them and catching, you know, it's okay. It is okay in the right way to ask for a picture sometimes. But when they're going to the toilet or they're with their
yeah, that's
families
a bit much.
or they're hopping in the lift to
Yeah.
go to their hotel, you know,
Or they're out
uh,
doing something to eat or having a
or
drink. Like,
they're
leave them
holding
alone.
hands with their missus and
Mm.
doing something or whatever, you know. There's a time and a
That's
place,
yeah.
and there's these
That's the
little,
bit that bugs me, where they're
there's
with their
the
families or with their partners and they're still
yeah
trying to get a picture of them.
or
Like, read the
whatever,
room.
you know. There's these
Like,
yeah exactly. Read the room. There's these little like over obsessive fanboys,
yeah.
you know. Like there is a time and place. There is wrestling events to do it. Now I know you're gonna pay money, but like I've seen wrestlers out and about, and it depends. If you politely ask and you don't bother them, get a picture and feck off, and just leave them alone. You know what I mean?
Like, I'd understand if it was Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, the real big stars, like, like they have to just deal with it because that's
Yeah.
that's the level of status that they have.
Because I
People
know
marking out
I
for
know on the
like,
Instagram page you'll probably see me with wrestlers and have you as well. But a lot of them
yeah,
we were at like WrestleCon and stuff. Or we just were in a bar and we next we see Damien Priest and it was grand. You know what I mean? Like and he
yeah, but
was yeah, it
people
wasn't
marking out for small stars, like,
yeah,
and
but I
like,
mean like Damien Priest was as nice as that and just
yeah,
yeah, get a picture, just not make it. He kind of just said, "Don't draw attention to it." Grand, you know.
yeah.
So and that was fine with me, you know.
So we seen him walking home, then like,
Yeah, yeah. It's just we were coming out of
uh,
we were coming out of the Irish pub. He was coming out of the other pub, and
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I think
We
he was
seen him
going
on the
in.
country, like,
Actually, I think he was going into the pub. But anyway, it was funny. It was funny the way that worked. But that was Philadelphia, just walking around, you see random people, and that was grand. As
see,
long
I
as you're,
thought I thought Philly was probably the best, mainly because of the atmosphere, the people
yeah,
there as well. Just it
yeah.
was just good vibes, man. I find Vegas was a bit fake,
Like
and
Vegas is fake,
you know,
obviously, and we
yeah.
done 2 years in Vegas, done one in Philly and one in LA. LA was good because it was LA. There was other stuff to do,
It was
but
our
LA
first
is
one as well, so
yeah, it
we
was
were
the first. But
taking all in.
LA was so spread out. You had to get
Yeah,
taxis, taxi here, taxi there, taxi everywhere. So that was annoying. Philadelphia was a bit like you walked there, everything, or you could get a subway to it and you were grand. Everything was in the one
Yeah,
spot, and that was fine. And then even like WWE World, that was in the city, so you could go down the subway and get that, and that was grand, you know. But Vegas is a bit all over the place as well. Remember, we were trying to get the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
That was a
that was a
bit,
nightmare.
yeah. Or no, the one that was a nightmare was trying to get down to Westgate to WrestleCon that time, and then we realized
Yeah,
like
you could get
you could
the
get
monorail.
monorail, yeah, monorail.
You didn't know where to get it though. Like, that's
But
the
no,
thing.
but
Like
no, but
but that's
but
another thing that hard.
nobody
Like,
was helpful
where
either. Nobody was like, oh yeah, the
exactly.
monorail's down that way and you take a left.
But that's
You were
what I'm
like,
saying. Like, for a strip that's notorious for people getting easy access, we had difficulty doing that.
yeah.
Finding the monorail, getting down there. And
So it's
follow
just
the
something.
crowd. That's what I always say. We could be
Yeah.
walking for hours, so that's the only thing.
Well, we got to see everything.
Ah, yeah.
I got the big
But
cocktail.
um, no. So you enjoyed Mania this year. What was the atmosphere like compared to other years? Like where?
It was different, completely
Yeah,
different. A very different atmosphere because I don't think as many international fans traveled.
yeah,
There was, no, don't get me wrong, there was international fans, but it wasn't like an influx of like, you see, like me and you see like a Belgian flag, you see a French flag, you see a Spanish flag, you see a German flag, you see obviously the Irish flags, you know, and that's if you can get them in. Because
yeah.
remember the trouble when they were trying to take them off people and stuff, and it was like, what? Like,
Exactly, man.
so,
But yeah, and you done Sandman's last match as well when you were over there, didn't you?
yeah,
What was
yeah,
that like? Was
yeah.
that any different, or was that still
That
casual
was different,
man?
but that's GCW. That was a bit of a mess as well.
Yeah,
It was a joke kind of thing. It was okay, but it was more of a it was indie. You know what I mean? It was very indie.
yeah.
The best part about it, I thought, was Kendra Lust.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, but no, I'm only joking. But no, it was just a mad one. It was very mad. Like he was in wrestling the Invisible Man.
yeah. Who was
So
he against again? Actually, he was an indie player, right?
no,
Or
the Invisible Man. There's
oh,
nobody
really?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was bumping into doors and stuff and going through tables himself and stuff. And I was kind of like, I was too drunk, not too drunk, but it was well on at that
You're
stage.
very
I was kind of going, what is going on here?
yeah. But yeah, man, just getting back to Clash
But yeah,
Clash
getting
ultimately.
back to Clash, getting
Yeah,
back to WWE and all this. Even like, I mean, I'm starting to watch highlights of WWE. I was following the shows, stuff like that, and all. Like next day I'd watch
yeah.
them because obviously you're not gonna stay up till like, start at 1 and stay up till 4, especially when you have to go to work at 7 or something.
But even with
So
Netflix and having it accessible at any time, and that's still 5 hours of WWE each week to keep up with what you need to know,
and half
And
it, yeah, but I find
yeah,
myself as well. Some of it you can skip through. A lot
you
of it you can
can.
skip through and get
But
to
the
the
one
main
thing I
points.
will say, the YouTube highlights they're good, but they don't cover everything. And everybody's looking at the main card all the time. I know that's where the attraction is, right? But some of the big card stuff is good though as well. That fucking Ginger Man thing though uh
Yeah,
with Trick Williams though. That
there's
was a bit of
little.
a reach.
I
It was a bit
know,
of a
but
reach.
there is
Yeah.
some highlight. I know they're trying to go comedy as well. There is some highlights of stuff as well. That's
Yeah.
like, obviously the biggest highlight, and he got billed over when he came there. Was Danhausen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Danhausen was like they billed the shit
He's
over
the
him
new
when he
R
first came.
truth as far as I'm concerned. He's filling that role,
Yeah,
and
he's like that. And
doing it pretty well.
remember the way Goldust was comedy as well. Like with him and
Yeah.
Booker T and stuff, like comedy gold. Like I mean, it's a bit mad. Like he is great and all, but I think he has a time limit as well. He's getting everything in while he can. I think he's funny. You obviously think he's funny because you have the hat and everything.
Yeah. I'm
He's
a
very.
fan. I like him.
I
But
hear he's
I
very nice, very evil, very nice.
but when he came in first, I was like, meh. But then as he went on, then he's putting in his work, and I like to see that. Even if he's not on the card all the time, wrestling all the time, building that brand is difficult as well. But then again, he probably has a lot of support uh, from backstage, like 'cause he's a merch mover.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
There you go. That's it.
But I just think I think that's the last WrestleMania will beat it unless it comes to Europe. And obviously, if it comes to
Yeah.
London, we'll all be everybody will be
Or to
happy on that.
Ireland.
Or Ireland,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or to
there was a
Dublin.
show for
Whatever.
that, but
So,
that's
there you
very
go.
doubtful.
And look, if
You know,
Becky and all the others can get
yeah,
behind it, why not?
yeah.
Like,
If I
we
think
had
it,
our first live event only last year and then one in Belfast,
SmackDown,
so we're
yeah,
coming up,
got Raw, yeah.
So
You know, unfortunately, there's not a medium-sized arena down here to host that, except obviously the
we still have
point is
one of the
the True
biggest
Arena.
arenas in Dublin now, man. With
Yeah,
Crowdsfair and
yeah,
with Lansdowne and all,
yeah.
like there's plenty of room where we can stick them and we could do it out on the field
Well,
if we need
the
to, like,
funny thing,
field a few stands.
the funny thing is, like, I think Lansdowne is only like a few thousand short of Raider Stadium that was in.
Yeah,
Yeah, Allegiant Stadium is it's not much bigger. It looks it, but it's not.
yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know. It's like what happens someday. Not as near as what people think now, but could happen the next 10 years, I'd say at least. Anyway, I'd say London might get it before us, or another European country, like say France or Italy, or like maybe Belgium as well, because the tour last year proved that the European
it
fans are
sells out.
bringing
Yeah, and
out.
to be honest,
So
the fans are more crack.
that's it.
There's more like obviously to get more of the football chanting and stuff going.
That's great though. The whole
You
like
know,
Cody Rhodes thing.
yeah,
His
Cody
chant.
Rhodes.
Yeah. That all came from Europe, man, and the
Or
Americans tried
hey,
to hijack it.
hey,
I was like,
Bailey.
that's theirs, lads.
Ah, yeah, no, there's a few of them out there. You're shitting, you know, yeah. We can't say the other ones, I don't think, if we don't want to get taken down.
But that all stems back to the indie events like
Yeah.
OTT and the
One
ones in England as
fall,
well.
you know, and all that,
Yeah.
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 So, but we haven't got much time left, but we'll go through this really fast. I This just shows as well, like we were going back to TKO and how they're running and stuff and all. A lot of releases. They're making
Not really.
hand over fist. They're making money, you know,
Mhm.
and they give out these contracts like to the New Day, and they're 5 year contracts, obviously 5 year deals, and in the first year they let them go.
I've
So
heard
they're
I've
not
heard
really
mixed
giving out
things.
5 years,
Yeah.
but
I've
the
heard
big
mixed things though about the new day because like
yeah.
Kofi was there like what 15 years, nearly 20
I
years. He said
suppose
it
you
was
can't.
getting there.
I suppose you can't run forever, but I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time, like you're looking at storylines and stuff. Do something better. It has to be
But
better,
like
you know.
the thing about it is, though, man, right, is that they were had to take a pay cut if they were going to stay because LA Knight done it.
Yeah.
But me,
Well,
like
we
my
don't
buddy
know.
was saying,
We think it's LA Knight.
that's what I've heard. I don't
That's
know
what
if
I've
it's
heard
true,
as well.
right? But he has the Slim Jim stuff as well. He's got his own merch and everything, so he's probably making hand over fist as well, even without appearances, like and being on WWE contracts if he has to, like. But to be honest with you, right, they probably cut their pay maybe by about 10%. So instead of making 5 million a year, they're gonna be making 3 or 4 million a year, like.
True.
And they left over that, over like not getting what they thought they were worth. And fair enough, life like work-life balance and all that, but
Work-life balance. I want
like
weekends
that's a good
off.
fucking balance, man. You know what I mean?
I
Especially in
want
the account, like
I want my weekends off. God damn it.
they get
No,
more time off now than what they ever have, man.
probably
So
they're probably
like
making as.
footballers, they're just spoiled at this stage. There you go.
But yeah, I don't know. But I just kind of with WWE at the moment, I don't know what they're up to. Like, it's it's kind of not that it's in the toilet, but it's not as hot as it was. And
No.
they're driving off a lot of fans with prices and all the ads and all this kind of stuff, and then the releases. And there's obviously multiple things. And obviously, we'll talk about. I know you don't really watch it, but I'll talk about AEW in the next one it is, because we have not covered that at all, and it's improving a bit. I watched their last pay-per-views. I actually watch more of their pay-per-views than their weekly shows,
Yeah.
because their pay-per-views are on a Saturday, and you can watch them. You know. Now, I don't want to watch 6 hours of their pay-per-views, so you know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think WWE's kind of gone into its deja vu era again, where it's just like everything's happening like Groundhog Day, like
Like we said,
over and over
I
again.
know we keep going back to Clash in Italy, but what I
Yeah.
think, like you're looking at that card, and that's a rinse and repeat card. That's a really lazy job, and for supposedly all these writers and all this stuff, and you know, I wonder. I actually wonder. They did say they were going to do it. I wonder if they're using AI.
Another thing about that as well is you knew who
It, by
which
the way,
wrestlers were released.
this is not
No, you didn't.
AI. This is not AI. This is a joint. Like, look,
That's that's the real McCoy.
that's the
That's what that
real.
is. But what do you want to say? Yeah, that's the one thing they didn't say. You know who which wrestlers got released, but you don't know if any writers were released, producers, executives, whatever.
Well, you heard the executive made more money than ever.
Yeah, so
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna come back to all this because I'm just gonna finish it because obviously we're on timer here. But we'll come back to it. We'll come back in another episode. We'll talk about everything else. This was kind of filler just to get back up to date because we haven't been on. But I think we're gonna try do this more, or if we can get together, we're gonna get together. But we'll try put more out of this, at least about this time, about 40 minutes, half an hour of stuff.
yeah. My tip of the iceberg right now for what's going
Yeah.
on. There's a lot
So,
to unwrap. You know.
so once I got the setup back here, obviously, thank God you have your room there with the setup as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's been nothing to do with you. I'm Aaron. He's Memo. We'll talk to you soon.
See you later, lads.
Adios, amigos. Oh wait, I need to put back on my mask for that. No, nobody wants to see that. Go on.